Dr. Live with New Insight, and thank you for joining me in another video. The title of today's video is Making the Shift. Making the shift represents a cognitive coping skill. Cognitive meaning the mind and mental processes. A shift represents a change in thinking or mindset, such as shifting from problem focused to solution focused, from pessimistic to optimistic, from a closed mind to an open mind, and from a stagnant mindset to a growth mindset. It is important in life that we be flexible and able to shift. It is a coping mechanism and survival mechanism. Let's examine 3 ways we can make the shift. Number 1, you can make the shift by looking for multiple perspectives, asking yourself, what else could it be? You can also ask the question, what is this situation trying to teach me? Number 2, you can make the shift by looking for the silver lining, meaning the positive or bright side, the upside of things, or the light at the end of the tunnel. Number 3, you can make the shift by adopting a concept known as radical acceptance, which is total and complete acceptance of what you cannot change. With radical acceptance, your thoughts might be, for example, I don't like it, I don't agree with it, it doesn't make sense, but it has happened and it's a reality that I cannot change. So knowing that I can't change it, I don't want to exert my attention, time, and mental and emotional energy dwelling on what's out of my control. I want to shift my mind to what is in my control. And when you shift, it is also important to tap into or use images and metaphors to help you visualize the shift and manifest the shift. Here are some examples. Change the channel, turn down the volume, or mute the negative thoughts. See it and don't see it. Hear it and don't hear it. Let the thoughts pass by like clouds in the sky, like leaves on a stream, or smoke dissipating in the air. Now, in order to accept what you cannot change, it is imperative to have a made-up mind that it is necessary to let it go. The key words being made-up mind and necessary. You don't have to like it or feel like letting it go. The point of radical acceptance is to acknowledge the reality of a situation and your limitations or inability to change it. In fact, you fully acknowledge that trying to change it is either impossible or would actually bring about more problems and stress. You realize that constantly dwelling on the situation or exhausting efforts to change it is actually causing, perpetuating, or worsening the anxiety, stress, anger, frustration, fatigue, headaches, and distress you feel, and causing unnecessary distraction, preventing you from living and enjoying your life. And when you're experiencing a crisis, a problem such as grief and loss or heartbreak, the concept of radical acceptance sounds counterintuitive. However, the first step towards relief and healing is making a conscious decision to face and accept reality and let go of what you cannot change. And letting go doesn't mean you don't care and you'll never think about it again. You decide to let it go because you refuse to give any more attention and energy to the situation, and you refuse to keep feeling down and defeated, living your life in distress. Some common questions about letting go include, does letting go make me a quitter? Letting go does not make you a quitter. In fact, you may have been the main one or the only one, going above and beyond, always giving, sacrificing, compromising, perhaps even overcompensating. It just means that you realize your efforts may not be appreciated, reciprocated, or respected, or that in this situation, your efforts are leading to your own detriment. In other words, working against you. Another common thought is, I feel bad because I wasn't perfect either. I messed up. First of all, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes and poor decisions. And even if you didn't do as much as you feel you could have or should have, this doesn't make any hurt, pain, abuse, manipulation, betrayal, wrongdoing, or injustice your fault. Own your part, but don't take blame for other people's choices and decision making. Making mistakes or poor decisions doesn't mean you're not a good person, nor does it mean you can't learn, grow, and become better. And it certainly doesn't mean you deserve to be judged, condemned, or mistreated, not by others and not by yourself. And even if it was your fault, understand that once you show remorse, you apologize, and you're actively working on correcting the issues, that's all that you can control. You can't control someone else's process, meaning how they think, feel, and respond to you, whether or not they're receptive or forgiving. So work on yourself, make the changes you need to make, and focus on your next steps. Living with the feelings and consequences is oftentimes uncomfortable and unpleasant. And yes, your feelings are valid and understandable. However, through making the shift and radical acceptance, you understand that there are just some things you cannot change and you cannot control. Therefore, it is necessary to shift your thinking so that you process the situation using a growth mindset and not a condemned and defeated mindset. A mindset that enables you to learn, change, and grow, and reinvest in your life, being your best self.